Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Milva Patuna, an English education student at Lucky Dende University. Here I will explain the material related to feedback, starting from principle of feedback, methods of giving feedback, and example of giving feedback. For more details, here is the explanation. Feedback is a crucial part of the learning process. It helps learners understand how well they are progressing, recognize their strengths and weaknesses, and identify what they need to improve. Effective feedback can enhance learning outcomes, boost motivation, and encourage reflective learning. Next, principle of providing feedback. First, feedback must be specific and focused. It is not enough for teachers or lecturers to say good or not quite right. They need to explain clearly which part is well done and which part needs improvement. For example, instead of saying your answer is incomplete, it is more helpful to say you have mentioned 2 reasons, but you have not provided the supporting data required by the question. The second, effective feedback should be timely. Ideally, feedback is given as soon as possible after a test or activity is completed so that students can clearly connect the comments with their work and make immediate improvements. Number 3, feedback must be constructive and positive. The focus should be on improvement, not just pointing out mistakes. The language used should be encouraging. For example, rather than saying you failed to explain this concept, a more constructive comment would be your explanation is good start, but it could be clear with an example. Next, number 4, feedback should be clear and understandable. Avoid using technical terms unless they have been previously taught and understood by the students. Simplicity and clarity ensure that the message is received and acted upon. Next, number 5, feedback must be aligned with learning objectives or assessment criteria. For instance, if the assessment focus on paragraph structure, the feedback should address how idea are organized, not just the grammar or content. Next, number 5, feedback must be aligned with learning objectives or assessment criteria. For instance, if the assessment focus on paragraph structure, the feedback should address how idea are organized, not just the grammar or content. Next, methods of providing feedback. There are several methods that can be used to provide feedback depending on the context and learning needs. The most common is oral feedback, which is given directly during the lesson. For example, a teacher might give spontaneous comments after a student answers a question. This method is fast, personal, and useful for immediate correction. Another method, written feedback, often used in assignment, essay, or test response. It allows for more detailed comment and can be reviewed by the student multiple times. Feedback involves students evaluating and commenting on each other's work. This method promotes engagement and critical thinking. Individual conference allow for one-on-one discussion between the teacher and your student. It provides a deeper insight into the student progress and builds a trusting learning relationship. Next, digital feedback. or a feedback can be delivered through online platform, email, or application like Google Docs. This is particularly effective in remote or blended learning environment. Lastly, two methods. Self-assessment encourages learners to reflect on their own work before receiving feedback. This practice helps boost autonomy and critical awareness. Next, example of feedback. In academic writing, a teacher might say your argument is logical. It would be stronger if you include a reference from a scholarly source or use transition sentence between paragraphs to help guide the reader. In language learning, a teacher might say your vocabulary choice is correct, but the tense in this sentence is wrong. Try change, go to when, or your pronunciation is clear. Now focus on the intonation for question. Next, during a presentation, the feedback could be your slides are informative, but the text is too dense. Try using only the key points, or your body language was engaging but your voice needs to be louder so everyone can hear. Next, for group work. A teacher might say you were very active in leading the discussion. For the next session, try to encourage contribution for your group members too. Or your group presentation was well organized but the distribution of roles was not balanced. To conclusion, feedback is not merely a judgment, it is an integral part of the learning process. It should encourage and motivate. Teachers must plan their feedback carefully, choose the appropriate method, and deliver it with empathy and clarity. At the same time, students should be encouraged to view feedback as an opportunity for growth and learning.